Once upon a time, a couple lived in a faraway land. They lived a very lonely life, and their only wish was to have a child. The house next to theirs had a beautiful garden with lots of fresh fruit, vegetables, herbs, and flowers. The garden belonged to a witch, and no one ever dared to enter it. One day, the woman saw a beautiful plant in the garden called a rampion, which was used to make salads. So, she told her husband that she wanted to make some salad from this plant. Later that night, her husband sneaked into the garden and got the rampion for his wife. After a while, there was a loud knock at the door. When the husband opened the door, he saw the wicked witch standing there. "Oh, human, how dare you sneak into my garden and steal these rampions like a thief? No one has ever dared to do such a thing. And I'll see to it that you suffer for it," the witch said angrily. Terrified, the man began to beg the witch's forgiveness. "I am so sorry, but my wife wanted rampions, and I could not say no," said the husband. "Oh," exclaimed the witch, and continued, "Well, in that case, I'll let you and your wife have all the rampions in my garden, but on one condition." "What condition?" exclaimed the couple. "You must give me the child your wife is giving birth to," said the witch, and left. The couple tried to beg her forgiveness, but the witch was gone. A few months later, the couple gave birth to a beautiful baby girl with golden hair. That same night, the witch came to their house and took their daughter away. "Oh my goodness, you are so beautiful. Let me call you Rapunzel," said the witch, and took Rapunzel to a tower without doors and locked her in. After a few years, Rapunzel grew up to be the most beautiful young girl with long blonde hair. But she was still stuck in the tower, lonely and unhappy. She often sang sad songs at the window to ease her loneliness. Every time the witch visited her, she would say, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." And Rapunzel would let down her hair. And the witch would climb up by her hair. One day, a young prince was walking through the nearby forest. When he heard Rapunzel's sweet voice singing a song. "What a beautiful voice!" exclaimed the prince. "Who sings so beautifully in the middle of the forest?" Curious, he followed the voice. As he came upon the tower, where Rapunzel was locked up. What a strange tower! Why are there no doors? How am I supposed to know who this beautiful voice belongs to? The prince thought to himself. Suddenly, he saw someone coming and hid behind a nearby tree. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let your hair down," said the witch, and climbed up. Now the prince knew what he had to do. As soon as the wicked witch was gone, the prince tried to do the same thing. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair," said the prince. And Rapunzel let down her hair. The prince climbed up and was stunned by Rapunzel's beauty. "Who are you?" asked Rapunzel. "Oh, my lady, you are the girl I have heard of, and I have lost my heart to you. Will you marry me and live with me in my kingdom?" "I am a prince from the land beyond the forest," said the prince. "Oh, my prince, I'd love to. But I'm afraid the witch won't let me out of this tower. And if she finds out, she will kill you," said Rapunzel sadly. "It's all right. I'll think of a way to let you out and come back tomorrow," the prince said, and left. Meanwhile, the witch was watching. She immediately climbed up the tower and got angry with Rapunzel. "You are ungrateful. How could you even think of betraying me? You will pay for this," the witch said angrily. She cut off Rapunzel's long, beautiful hair and cast a spell that left her in the middle of the desert. When the prince arrived the next day, he found the witch waiting for him in the tower. She immediately cast a spell on the prince, blinding him and leaving him in a deserted forest. After wandering and living in misery for many years, the prince finally came to a desert where he heard a similar voice singing. "That voice," exclaimed the prince. "I know that voice. It's the voice of my Rapunzel. Where are you, my Rapunzel?" He slowly approached the voice. And when Rapunzel saw him, she said, "Oh, my prince, you have found me at last. This is truly magical. I am so happy I cannot stop crying." As she said this, she embraced the prince, and some of her tears fell into the prince's eyes. And he got his sight back. "I can see again. Oh, my Rapunzel, you have saved us. Let's go back to our kingdom," the prince said. And they both went back to the kingdom near the forest. And so Rapunzel and the prince returned to the prince's kingdom, where they were warmly welcomed by the people. The couple ruled the kingdom with love and fairness, and their story became a tale of true love overcoming all obstacles.